It's time to dive into Helldivers 2 and talk about this weekend's controversy that involved it. So Helldivers 2, as I understand it, is this really amazing cooperative game. A lot of people in my streams have actually been asking me when I'm gonna play it. That and Stellar Blade, honestly. A lot of people have been like, when are you doing Stellar Blade? Sorry, I realize I have my headphones on, so I'm gonna take those off. I don't need them on right now. Oh no, my hair's all flat. However, we're not here to talk about Stellar Blade right now and all the sexy costumes. We're here to talk about Helldivers 2. And we're here to talk about Helldivers 2 and this issue where PlayStation made it retroactively so that you would have to link your PSN account to play Helldivers 2. Now, inherently, this doesn't sound like such a bad thing. I mean, it only takes a few seconds to link an account. Usually, when I have a game and they say, you know, you have to link your account or whatever, I just do it. It takes a few seconds. It happened with Fall Guys where retroactively we had to do that when it got bought by Epic. I had to link stuff. It's a bit of a nuisance, but you do it. So why are so many people mad? Why so mad? What's wrong? You okay? Here's why people are mad. It's because PSN actually only exists in 69 countries. Helldivers 2 is one of the highest grossing games that Sony has had in their history, actually. It's the 7th highest grossing game ever, highest revenue and lifetime sales, and it's only been out for a few months, friends. So yeah, apparently the plan that PlayStation has said is that we were always gonna make you link your PSN. It was an inevitable thing, but due to a technical error, technical difficulties, we weren't able to do it at game launch, but that was always the plan. The thing where that seems to be a bit sus is that if you look at the FAQ on PlayStation's website in regards to, you know, linking, and for the game, some of the questions in regards to, do I have to link my PSN? The answer was pretty much no. It was like, no, that's not a necessity. If you're playing on a PC, you do not have to link your PSN. And obviously we're talking about people that are playing on a PC, in case that wasn't clear to you. I feel like this would be way less of an issue if it was obviously just PlayStation. That would be, I feel like, a no-brainer. So the problem with this is that PSN is only available in those 69 countries, which means the people that are playing on their PC in countries that are outside of the regions where PSN is available just don't get to play because you cannot play unless you link, which is a huge issue. However, we do have some good news in terms of how this was dealt with. Before we get to that, I just have to say it is mind-boggling to me that PlayStation would make this decision, that Sony would say, yes, this is the hill we'd like to die on. Because I just don't really understand what they gain from it. They're claiming that apparently it's to help with bad actors that existed in the game. So the idea is, you know, there's people that are playing this game that are doing things that are like against the rules, that are sus, and as a result of that, those people we need to link so we can keep an eye on them and get them out of the game because they're misbehaving. I feel like, why wouldn't you start off by saying, by the way, in the future, you will have to link your PSN? And also think about, how will that work in countries where you're selling it, where it's not a thing, if that's going to be a must? I have just so many questions as to how this... It feels like there's a lot of things that don't make sense that makes me think it is a change that PlayStation basically said, here's the thing, we're gonna add this in now, and you just have to acquiesce. And if you don't, suck an egg, I guess. Because the whole other issue with this is that if you can't access the game, then shouldn't you get a full refund? And the good news is that yes, that is exactly what Valve said. So Steam actually decided, no, we don't abide by this. And even if you've played for more than 2 hours, if you were in any of the countries where you couldn't access it because you couldn't link your PSN because it doesn't exist in your country, you could still get a refund. So we were seeing mass refunds over the weekend. That was the thing that happened with Helldivers. And honestly, rightfully so, if you bought a game and you can't play it, you deserve a refund. Doesn't matter how much you've played it for. You paid for a game, you should own it. And if you don't own it, get a refund, because if you can't access it, guess what? You don't really own it. Everyone in the world that makes games, please remember that. I feel like a lot of people like to forget, but if you sell someone a thing and then they can't get to the thing because you've built some sort of cage around it or you've pulled the plug on it, Ubisoft, then then they should get a refund. And so that is what was happening. The other thing that was happening was there was a community manager on the Discord, Spitz, who I think it was either on the community Discord or on Twitter. They were basically responding to, I think it was on Discord. A lot of people were just in the Discord community and obviously were upset because they can't access the game, rightfully so. But Spitz basically responded and was just like, look, this isn't like us, like, what, you're getting mad at the wrong people, like, you should just go online, like, if you don't like it, like, go write a review about it. And apparently almost, I think, was let go because of that in their role as community manager. Apparently they disappeared from the Discord and then they did return. And when people asked, you know, were you like fired? They were like, I was almost, but not quite fired. So they did return in, and they did say, but they were happy that it had taken an effect because that is what happened. People went out and review bombed it. Obviously the developers were very sad to see that happen, but they understood people's ire at this change. It seems like Arrowhead was very much not into this decision, but their hands were tied. It's really unfortunate because I've heard the game is amazing. This has just made me be like, man, now I really want to play this game. I'm very intrigued, and I have heard it's really fun. At first I thought this might not be a game for me, but the more and more that I hear about it and how like goofy and fun it is, the more I think it is for me. And I also just watched Ludwig did a video on this whole controversy, which you should check out. It's a really great video. I also watched Moist Critical. Charlie did a video on this, which was also super interesting. Go check out both those videos. I'll put links for you guys down below, as well as links to my sources in the video description for the articles that I checked out. But yeah, they're really selling me on it, I gotta say. Ludwig said that it was basically like Left 4 Dead. It was like just as good as Left 4 Dead in terms of this co-op vibe where it's you and your crew going in, trying to get these missions done. And I'm just like, man, that sounds actually so fun. I love Left 4 Dead. It's one of my favorite online co-op experiences and couch co-op experiences. Remember when we had couch co-op? I dream about it. So the good news is that this all worked. People review bombed it. People in droves said, and I would like a refund. Valve said, we will stand by that because this is messed up. The community said, this is messed up. The developers said, we agree this is messed up. And we have a success story, friends. It worked. Sony decided to revert their decision. They said, actually, we're going to go back on this. And I'm so glad that they did. I'm so glad this was a win for the gaming community because this was ridiculous. And I just thought, what is happening? It's like news story after news story with gaming lately where I just keep hearing more and more. And the whole fun thing about Helldivers as well is that it is this affordable, fun, you know, it's not like it's not a AAA. It's doing something different, and even it can't be free because it's PlayStation and PC exclusive. Even it is beholden to all this big companies coming in and messing stuff up. And that was so disheartening to hear as someone that had heard all this good stuff about Helldivers 2. So I'm glad that Sony went back on it, and I think it's ridiculous that if they were trying to deal with bad actors, that they didn't think about how that would affect everyone that's playing it on PC that isn't in the PSN regions. My goodness. And here's the thing. I have an idea, like, how you could have done this to encourage people to sign up, but not making it mandatory, so you're not cutting off all the people that can't access that. What I love is sometimes when you link accounts, you'll get something for it. A publisher will say, you know what, you link it, you get a cool cosmetic, or you get something in the game. I think if they just offered something like that for Helldivers 2, I mean, and maybe they will do that now to encourage people to sign up, but not make it so that it's like you're handcuffed to having to sign up, then I think this would have been a much better experience for the community, and I feel like it would have encouraged people to sign up. Because at the end of the day, I acknowledge that PlayStation is not the most secure place to put your information on the internet, but I do think when you give people free stuff, it will encourage people to be like, maybe I'll put, and you know, I'm sure there's certain information that that's optional that you can give them. So, but I also know that was another worry of people, is that PlayStation is notoriously not super secure. They were just recently hacked, I think in like October of 2023. So the data might not be as secure as you'd like, but give someone like a free cosmetic, and I feel like they might consider and weigh like, maybe I'm more inclined to sign up and take, you know, that that risk with my information. The reality as well is that being on the internet, like, honestly, everything's a risk. Living life, everything's a risk. Let's be real. Just stepping outside your door onto the street, risk. So I think you gotta sweeten the pot for people as opposed to forcing them to do something. Ugh. I didn't like that. And I'm glad that it's resolved. So I just wanted to come in and give you a little happy ending to this gaming news story because we love a happy ending here. And I hope that, you know, PlayStation does find a way to still, if they want to encourage people to sign up, find a different way to do that. And that Helldivers 2 does recover. But I think it was one of the developers that was saying they might make like an in-game cosmetic, like a cape that has like the lines from the reviews, from the review bombing, to like just embrace that this happened as part of the game. Which I kind of love. I love when people can take something and try to roll it into something fun and just acknowledge that, yeah, this was a mistake. I think we live in a world, I mean, Ludwig talked about this in his video in regards to something that he felt he had messed up on recently, but I really agree with what he said, with just this idea that, you know, you can, really, it's not about never messing up. It's just about how do you roll out of that, right? Like, how do we move forward? And so I hope that PlayStation and Helldivers 2 will both have a nice recovery from this, and that we'll just learn lessons along the way. You know, no one's perfect. I think you can come back from it, but we do need to learn lessons and apologize and find a way to balance the scales. So, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really want to check out Helldivers 2. Let me know if there are any other games that you'd love to see me check out. If you're playing Helldivers 2, what are you loving about it? What are some things that I definitely have to do when I jump in? It has been on my radar. I've just been playing so many things lately, and guys, I still have to finish Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League soon. It's taken me so long. I really just need to start picking one game and just play that nonstop. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay nerdy, friends.